Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1 or Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be making a really easy, simple, dainty beaded necklace. And we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are, Little Gems Creations 1 and Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be making a very basic beaded necklace. So you're going to need some spider line, fire line. Today I'm using this tough line. I'm using 10-pound test. You can use 8 or 6-pound weight, whichever you prefer. We're using some really nice crystal 10-aught seed beads, and we're using some 11-aught seed beads, some nice glass black seed beads. You're going to also need a measuring tape, some jump rings, a lobster clasp is the kind of clasp I'm using. You're going to need your tools and some scissors. So let's get started. We're going to start by pulling 2 arm lengths of this line. Now, I am only making a 14-inch necklace. If you want a longer necklace, you'll have to pull a little bit more line. So I'm doing my arm length twice. Okay. So there we go. And I can get my line out of the way. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put that aside. You have to make sure that your jump ring is closed, okay? So, see my jump ring here? I'll just get a pair of pliers so that my fingers aren't in the way. You see how that's not closed? So what we're going to do is we're going to open it a bit and then just close it. Make sure it's nice and perfectly closed. See that? Nice and closed. See? Oh. It's a little bit up. I'm just going to go in there and just make sure it's all nice and flat. Okay, so there we go. Now you're going to take that line you cut. You're going to put the 2 ends together. So there's one end and there's the other. Okay. So I'm putting my 2 ends together. Whoops, and I dropped one of my ends. Okay, so 2 ends together. Okay. Now with my 2 ends together, I'm going to go down my line to the loop at the other side. I'm going to take my loop and the jump ring I just closed. I'm going to feed the loop through my jump ring. See, like that. And then I'm going to pull, bend it over, and take these tails. So you make sure your jump ring's on there. I'm going to put these tails through my loop. Okay? And pull these tails through. See? And then if I've done it right, I hold this and my jump ring now has my thread attached to it. Going to the other end, my 2 ends together. Okay. See that? I went all the way to the other end to my 2 ends together. Make them even. Okay. Okay. Now grab that beading needle. Now this is where if you use 10-pound test, it's going to get a little tricky. Now this line is a braided line, so you kind of got to pinch it like I just did. And then we're going to try and feed it through the teeny tiny eye of this pin. So that's why you got to squish it. Okay, whoops. Nothing there. Let's try again. No. Gotta squish those really good. Let's try again. Whoa! I got them! Sometimes it takes me more than a few tries, as you just saw. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have no bubbles. So we're going to, again, from this side, we're going to go till we get to our needle. You see how I have a bit of a bubble there? So I'm just going to pull it until it's smooth. Okay, so now we have to decide on our design. So I'm going to take 5 of my black seed beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5. Bring those down. And you see how that acts as a stopper? Isn't that nice? Then I'm going to put on one of my crystals. And there we go. Then I'm going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring those down. And then I'm going to put a crystal. And then I'm going to repeat, and that will be my pattern. 5 and 10, 5 and 10. Okay, so now we'll do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a crystal. And then I'll do 10 and do another one. And we're going to do this until it measures approximately 14 inches. It might not be exact to keep with your pattern, but do that. Meet me back. Okay, so I'm back and I did my 14 inches. So now I'm just going to put the beading to the side and I'm going to grab my other matching jump ring. And once again, we're just going to make sure it's closed, okay? Completely closed. Give it a pinch this way. Make sure it's closed. See how it's nice and closed? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going back to our beadwork. We're going to find our needle. Now we're going to put that jump ring onto the needle here. And we're going to bring it down to our beadwork. Now, we don't want it to go past the beads like it just did. What we're going to do is we're going to go back through those beads. There we go. To just before that first big bead, okay? So, there's our jump ring. We're going to use our jump ring and pull that tight. You see how we did there? We pulled that tight. So we're just before that first bead. So we're going to start our knots. So I'm going to put my needle in front of that first bead. I'm not putting it through a bead. I'm just putting it in behind the work, but in front of that first bead. And then I'm going to get my loops. I'm going to go through both loops once, both loops twice. And I'm going to guide that knot. See how it moved there? Dang it. There, see how? Okay, we're going to guide it So it goes just before that big bead, okay? Okay, and then pull tight. Okay, and now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do magic. We're gonna go through that big bead. Oh, come on. Through the big bead, and we can go through a couple more of those beads. And then what we're gonna do, can you see it? See my knot? We're gonna give that a pull, and you're gonna feel a little kind of pop, and our knot just went in to the big bead. We're gonna continue down. Oh, come on, work with me. We're gonna continue down to the next big bead. We're not going through it, just before it. Okay, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna put our bead behind our work, or our needles, sorry. We're gonna go through the loops once and twice, and we're gonna guide that knot to just before the big bead, okay? And then we pull tight, go back to our needle, go through the big bead, and we're going to go all the way down to the other big bead. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my camera keeps going out of focus. And again, we're going to pull it, and our knot went into the bead. See, we don't see any knots. Now we're going to cut our thread. So we did 2 knots, and we're just before, oh, camera. Cutting our thread, and the reason we cut our thread right before that big bead is so that when you manipulate it, your ends go into the big bead. Okay, so that part's done. I'm gonna put my needle in my beading pad here to keep it safe. It's actually just a face cloth, but then I'm gonna take another jump ring, and this one is smaller than my last 2, but it's up to you to do what you want to do. I'm gonna open it sideways. Okay, see, got it nice and open. I'm gonna grab my lobster claw, and I'm gonna get it on that jump ring. Grab one of the ends of my necklace, get it on that jump ring. Grab my other tools. Sorry, I'm working around a camera, so it makes it a little challenging. Okay, and now I'm gonna close that jump ring nice and tight. See? Oh, it's a little bit open. I'm gonna just push it with my nail. There we go, and it's nice and closed. And there you go, guys. You have another nice, basic, pretty. It's a really pretty, and it could be unisex. It could be for a guy or a girl, or for, you know, anyone. And there you go. You guys have a pretty new necklace. Okay, so hit the like and subscribe, and check the description because I'm going to have a link to my Etsy store so that you can get some really nice necklace cards to display your fabulous work. Also in my description is a link to my crafting Facebook group so we can see what you made. I would love to see your beautiful work. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.